Evolution, the idea that man evolved from a race of monkey people. You learned about it in school, where they taught you that this bird watcher, Darwin, decided that things undergo random mutations to adapt to their environment. He called it his evolutionary theory. Well, here we are, nearly 100 years later, and we now have the tools to decide if evolution is actually a myth. Today we are going to be putting the tenets of evolutionary theory through their paces, because we are playing Ecosystem. This game is an evolution simulator. It uses natural selection, modeled DNA. We're playing in a physically simulated ocean. We're gonna make our boy Darwin very proud by evolving some absolutely spectacular fish. What I really want to do is dig a hole straight down to hell and see what kind of terrible creatures we can spawn in this abyss. With no light and little food, we are bound to evolve some of the most diabolical creatures the world has ever seen, filled with hate and malice and hell-bent on destroying the world and everybody in it. And now we watch as the first delicate organisms attempt to survive. This is the saddest and most pathetic excuse for life I have ever seen. You'll notice that most creatures have horrible growths coming out of their body, which should be your first indication that evolution is a terrible mechanism. Now we're gonna need a nursery above ground so that when these terrible spawns of Satan come up from their hole from hell, they have something to scare the living daylights out of. The grumpy catfish is clearly the most effective design that we've found this far. And of course, we don't want to leave out the spastic waver fish. Always quick to a greet, always quick to a smile. This is easily the happiest being in the ocean until the hellish creatures from the hole start making their way to the surface. I'm pretty sure this fish is aspiring to be a plate of spaghetti. The spaghetti fish is actually one of the most effective swimmers that I've seen yet. So I'm gonna give it a little evolutionary boost to help it out, get it some more offspring. Hopefully we'll see more of these spaghetti fish expanding, increasing in numbers. Let's check down in hell and see how these fish are doing. I came down here and they literally all died. Just one glance around the room and they all immediately died, and now there is nothing down here. We have created an inhospitable, terrible place where only plants can survive. Now I know what you're thinking. You're looking at this ecosystem and you're thinking, wow, that's a plate of spaghetti. But no, actually, these are evolved fish. This is evolution at work. God help us. These are not fish. This is a wriggling biomass of pure repulsiveness. Okay, so this is actually the fishiest fish that I've seen so far. It sort of has a tail and it can kind of swim. Evolution, maybe you're not a complete failure. So I'm actually being kind of a rock star at this game. We've got a huge fish population. The game keeps giving me bonus points. So I'm gonna build a giant castle of a nursery, and we are gonna breed the toughest, biggest, baddest fish that you can imagine. So this is a nursery where I expect true Spartan-like fish to be born. These fish are gonna be nasty, mean, and clearly superior to everything else that we've evolved up to this point. Behold the face of a true warrior. His fins aren't strong yet, but someday they will be. Hopefully at some point they'll get fully connected to his body. Well, this is what happens when evolution expects you to swim with a piece of string. The hydrodynamics here are not working. I do like this fish though. Looks like he couldn't be happier until he died tragically. I think we're gonna go ahead and give this string fish a little evolutionary boost. I don't know what in the hell this thing is trying to be. I can't even figure out where its head is at. Oh, there it is. Let's go ahead and give that a boost. That looks like a great design. Well, apparently, the evolutionary complexity of the ecosystem that I've built is far too great. because the game has crashed. Yet the robustness and determination of life must go on. We're starting over. And here we have the burn victim fish, who looks like he just came out of a 300-degree oven. The texture on this thing is incredible. Somebody get that thing to the burn ward. The burn victim fish has clearly seen some shit. We're gonna give him a boost. I want to see this guy restored back to his former glory. So I think I've found a fish that is starting to evolve hands. We have to keep this design going. I'm pretty sure with the encouragement and support from a little help from God, this fish can evolve hands. This is actually one of the most ferocious swimmers I've seen to date, despite that terrible growth on its head, which is clearly throwing it off balance. It's wriggling so hard it could rip off. I think this fish deserves a boost if for nothing other than its determination. We have clearly entered an evolutionary cul-de-sac with this one. I don't think that increasing those growths anymore is going to get you any additional benefit. I don't know how this has happened, but these meat popsicle fish are thriving in this terrible environment that I have created. I can't wait until I can spawn predators to just eat all of you. So it seems like the meat popsicle fish are an invasive species. Every new nursery that I open up, they just move in and everything else dies. What in the hell is that? Well, guys, I think it's time. We have way too many fish. They're starting to gross me out with their horrible disfiguredness. I think it's time to spawn some predators. I love how the predators do not resemble anything even remotely capable of chasing down another animal and consuming it. This is the saddest bunch of predators I have ever laid my eyes on, and I regret everything. Through the miracles of evolution, we have cured the burn victim fish. You can see how much smoother his scales are now. The discoloration is completely gone, and he's looking a lot happier than before. If evolution is true, it is a freaking miracle. I don't understand what this body plan is. I don't believe that this predator is capable of chasing down another animal and eating it. It looks like it's trying to grow legs so it can walk the hell out of here and get away from my terrible godlike powers. Alright, we are going to the most remote corner of the map and doing a horrible scientific experiment. I have built the Colosseum, one of the most recognizable structures from one of the most successful civilizations to ever walk the earth. If this megastructure cannot produce the most violent, superior, and successful fish in this game, then we will know undoubtedly that evolution is a Chinese hoax. A total scam. This is probably the worst thing that I've seen in this game. This fish only has one eye. Never mind, it's... Now this is the type of fish that could be a warrior. It's got a built-in whip. I don't think it knows how to use it, but it does look dangerous. Despite all of my efforts to create the ultimate killing machine, evolution has unanimously chosen the meat popsicle fish. It's the only thing left. All of my hard work, everything that I've done, has died to the invasive species, the meat popsicle fish. Even the Colosseum, the megastructure that was intended to create the most dominant body plan of any fish possible, has failed to produce even one viable species of fish. I'm actually pretty impressed that our Colosseum fish are now attempting to overtake the meat popsicle fish's home. There is some fierce competition going on here. Well, after an intense struggle with the Colosseum fish, the meat popsicle fish has reclaimed its throne at the top of the food chain. I can't say that I'm saddened or disappointed by this game. In fact, this game has actually opened my eyes to the lie of evolutionary theory. Evolution is supposed to allow an organism to adapt and optimize to its environment. Yet, this game expects me to believe that the meat popsicle fish is an evolutionary cul-de-sac which is superior and cannot be improved upon. This is clearly a lie. If this is what peak performance looks like, then we might as well go extinct right now. God help us all.